All right, what's going on? Welcome back. It is episode 2 of my interview series here on the show because at the end of the day, I'm just a fan with an opinion and a love for the game. I want y'all to hear it firsthand from the people living it, doing it, and breathing it at the highest level in the league, playing with the best of the best. So with that being said, it is with my honor and great pleasure that I can welcome on Arizona Cardinals running back, Mr. Corey Kiner, to the show today. Corey, congratulations on the successful first year in the league. I know you bumped around from team to team, but finally settled in with the Cardinals and made the most out of your opportunity with that team, with the chances you got. So I'm excited to see what you got in store for 2026. Thanks for joining me, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's a blessing, as I mentioned. It's a blessing, man. I'm just grateful to be here.
Yes, sir, man. I'm grateful to have you on the show. And what a time. I mean, the off season, it is literally the perfect time of year to talk ball, to kind of recap what we've seen this past season, hear more about your journey as an undrafted free agent through the league. We were kind of talking off camera there real quick about your journey, jumping from team to team. So we're going to hop into all of that right away. But first and foremost, as a running back in the league, I want to hear your opinion because the position itself has been quite controversial, I would say, over these past few years. And I feel like it's gaining a little bit more traction. Obviously, you see a guy like Kenneth Walker this year. He wins Super Bowl MVP with the Seahawks. You had Barkley last year with the Eagles, who had a phenomenal season. So elite running backs, those top shelf guys, they've kind of made a name for themselves, and they're demanding more and more money. And respectfully, they deserve it, across the league. But I'm curious, from your perspective, why would you pay an elite running back in this league? Or why would you spend a high draft pick on a running back coming out of college that is that guy, like an Ashton Genty that might have been in your class? You know what I mean? Like, it's been a topic of conversation, I feel like, for years now. But what does that true elite running back provide to a roster, in your opinion, and what are you looking to provide to a team?
You know, a running back of that caliber can provide so much to a team, as you saw in the Super Bowl with Kenneth Walker winning the MVP. It's the difference in the majority of games. You know, as the league has pivoted into a pass first um, game, it's kind of going back to that run first. That run is setting up the pass for the receivers to be open. So when you got a hard nosed guy like myself to pound it a couple times and get the defense trying to stop the run, then that opens it up for the receivers and get you those big plays that change the outcome of the game.
100%. And when you're looking at the landscape of elite running backs in the league, Corey, I'm sure that you've watched a ton of guys compete at the highest level, and we're talking about those names, the Barkleys, the Kenneth Walkers, the CMCs, and I want to get your opinion on the changing prototype of the current running back. But first and foremost, I'm curious. I'm sure you watch a lot of film and you've seen those guys play. Who are your top 5 running backs in the league that you've watched? Is there anybody that you watch and you're like, I know there's different styles of RBs, right? Like you have your Alvin Kamara's and your Christian McCaffrey's, guys that are versatile throughout the play, right? They can receive the ball, run the ball, and then your Derrick Henry, like your hard-nosed, north-south running football type running backs. I don't want you to leave anybody out. So if you want to bring any honorable mentions in, I don't want you to make anybody, mad or angry. But who would you pinpoint as maybe your best running backs in the league, or who are your top 5 most elite RBs in the league right now?
So at number one, I gotta go CMC. Just being in San Fran and seeing it firsthand in practice and just being there and seeing his process, you gotta go CMC number one. I don't think there's anybody like him in the league right now. Number two, I gotta go Saquon still. He ran for 2K 2 seasons ago, but man, I just never seen anybody like him. I think he's a bigger version of Barry Sanders. Like, and then for number three, I gotta go K9. I gotta go Kenneth Walker. He just showed why this past season, won the Super Bowl MVP, and he's been one of my favorite guys since he was at Michigan State. Number four, that's up for debate. Hmm, I like I like that's a hard one. I like Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's been a game
I like
changer.
Jahmyr Gibbs. He's been a game changer. Yeah, he's one of those guys.
When they brought him in with David Montgomery too, I was a little bit
Yeah,
confused, but the way they've used him as a 1-2 punch too has been pretty crazy to see him, and even coming out the
yeah,
backfield as well and making plays, receiving the ball. And I'll ask
yeah.
about that right away. But who's your number 5?
I gotta go with my dog David Montgomery as well. Number five.
Yeah.
Um, me and David are from the same city, and then I look up to him a lot. Like I kind of pattern my game after him a little bit. You know, he's more of a physical guy, but he has the ability to make guys miss and catch the ball out of the backfield as well.
Well, and I feel like that's become more and more important over the last like decade of running backs. I mean, you've seen, like you said, the game change into that pass first, and I feel like we're almost pivoting back now to seeing how important a running back is to an offense. But the position has definitely evolved, like everything with the league, the running back has evolved with the game. And this past season, we had 7 running backs over 50 receptions, and 12 had 40 or more, right? And you mentioned CMC. You also see a guy like Bijan creeping into that 1,000-yard receiving territory for yardage. In your opinion, like, how has the running back position evolved, and how do you remain relevant as an RB? Because you're a more physical type runner. You like to get into contact, initiate contact, hit guys hard, hit the gap hard, make guys miss. But you also got to evolve with the game, right? Like if you're not a pass catching back, you're leaving a little bit to be desired from teams, right? Like you can't truly be a 3-down back, somebody that they can rely on a late third down conversion that they can check the ball down to, and you can, move the chains, get a first down, get a crucial big pickup in a big game.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of coming in the league last season. San Fran was the perfect place to be with a guy like CMC because he is that prototype, that guy that catches the ball, that runs the ball, pass blocks, and that a guy that doesn't have to come off the field. So that kind of was an eye opener for me coming in, just seeing where I kind of lacked a little bit as far as the route running and pass pro and things like that. And it just was a great example for me to see in practice each day, in the meetings each day, on how I should be performing and how I should be like practicing and all that kind of stuff. So it just made me go even harder and the pass catching and just the route running and the details and those things in the pass pro.
Well, and not even CMC, but I feel like I've heard so many people, and even myself, rave about a play caller like Kyle Shanahan, who really
Oh
squeezes
yeah.
the juice out of absolutely everybody. What was it like playing under Kyle Shanahan? I know you didn't get the opportunity to play a full season under him, or obviously a full career. Now, I have no clue. Maybe you end up landing back in San Francisco at some point in your career, but just initially being launched into the league as an undrafted free agent, like, what can you say about Kyle Shanahan? Like, is it true? Is he really like the offensive guru? Because we all say it. Like, I'll say it. I watch the film. I see you guys play, and he calls some phenomenal plays, and he runs a great offense. He's had a lot of success. But from your perspective, actually playing under him, like, what is it like? Like, what's different about the guy?
It's crazy to be honest with you. He finds a way to get everybody open, and it was an open eye opener for me because coming out of college, I didn't really get out of the backfield much, lining up at receiver and things like that. And that was a must when I got to San Fran. Like I had to learn how to do that. And it's just like when defenses think they have them figured out, they don't have them figured out because just he has that relationship with his players that they'll come up with something on the spot and run it, and you would think that they've been practicing it the whole off season. So
And it's crazy to
it's
see,
crazy.
like, the chess match with Kyle Shanahan and what he can do. I almost imagine that he's just in the film room watching these guys and laughing, like I got these guys, like
Yeah.
they play at the NFL level. These guys coach at the NFL level, absolutely, but it always seems like he's just a few steps ahead. And even all the draft picks that they've made in San Francisco and the way that they've progressed with them and developing them, it's got to be a product of Kyle Shanahan's system. And we've seen the quarterback succeed there, and obviously all the players on that offense have had great success, including yourself, obviously learning there. Then you hop over to Minnesota on the practice squad for a while, and then you get picked up by the Cardinals, where you were the most productive this year, got some game action, which was great to see. I want to hear about your life and your experience as an undrafted free agent in the league. I'm assuming it's a pretty hard process, obviously jumping from scheme to scheme, new players, new coaches, new organization, new home, right? New living space, new friends, all that stuff has to factor in. Can you talk to me a little bit about that uncertainty element and the opportunity element as well of being an undrafted free agent? Like, how do you make it as an undrafted free agent in the league? Make a name for yourself. You obviously didn't get that stardom out the draft. You didn't get the big draft celebration. What's your mindset going into things?
So starting off, my mindset going into it is that I'm a walk-on basically, and I had a lot of walk-on friends in college, and I just saw the detail and the attitude that they attacked each day with, like they're trying to earn that scholarship. Now I'm not earning a scholarship, but I'm trying to earn that roster spot each and every day that I go out to practice. So coming in the OTAs, just seeing all the guys in the locker room and all the other rookies and all that kind of stuff, I was like, oh yeah, like I belong here. Like I'm here. My name is on the back of this jersey. I have my helmet in my locker. I belong here. So I had to go kind of have that mentality on the field and show the coaches why I should stay here, why they should keep me, why they should bring me back, and just try to be the first person out there on the field, showing them how hard I can go in these drills, showing my pass catching, showing my pass protection, my running, my vision, just little things, and just trying to be the best person that I can be. And then as far as like being on different teams and moving around, it's difficult because as soon as you get comfortable in one place, you go to a different place. I was in Minnesota for a majority of the season, and it was freezing cold, storm in the middle of a snowstorm on a Monday, and then I get the call from my agent saying, how you feel about going to Arizona? And I'm like, they want me to play? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, then let's go. So
get some trunks and let's go.
That's at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. on a Monday. I'm about to cook dinner, and then I get that call, and then by 6 p.m. I'm on a flight to Arizona. So I get to Arizona. It's about 80 degrees outside, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can rock with this. And then I get to practice the next day, and then it's a whole new playbook. But it's like I got that mindset of, no matter what the obstacle is in front of me, I'm gonna just go attack it. You can't coach effort, so I'm gonna give 110% effort each day. And if I didn't know what I was doing, you wouldn't tell because I was going as fast as I could.
Well, that's the mentality you got to have, man. And as an undrafted free agent specifically, like, you got to be that much sharper and that much more confident in yourself than a guy who got drafted and has a little bit of that leeway, right? Obviously, you still got to earn your spot, but I'm sure in your situation, you felt a little bit more pressure on yourself to walk in and really make a name for yourself. Now, I want to talk still about being an undrafted free agent, but on the topic of, like, failure, because I feel like the average fan or just maybe the average onlooker on the league, they're viewing your situation as an undrafted free agent, maybe on a practice squad, maybe without even a spot on a team, and they're thinking, man, that's failure to me. Like I've failed. He's failed. He hasn't made the league. He hasn't made his name. He doesn't have his name at the back of a jersey. He's not starting on a Sunday. But I don't really know if that's the case for you. Like sometimes failure is all about the effort that you're putting in, is all about how much you're dedicating yourself and how much you're giving. And if you're going 100%, sometimes whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? So for you, like, how would you define failure, and what do you look like through your career? Is it like, if I don't make it, I've failed, or is it something else? Like, how do you quantify that for your career?
At first it was kind of like I had that little immature mindset of, oh, I didn't get drafted. Like, I kind of failed. Like that wasn't a part of my dreams or my goals. But like it took some maturing and a lot of talking with my parents and all that kind of stuff and my mentors. And it's like, man, you can't have that mindset of that glass half empty. You gotta have that glass half full mindset. Like I am here. Like it's not exactly how I want to be here or where I want to be yet, but I have my foot in the door and I have that opportunity. And in all honesty, like I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I have to start off on a practice squad, get my foot in the door on a active roster with the Cardinals, and just to be able to go out there and show the coaches, I can't really knock that. You know what I mean? Like I have my foot in the door, I have an opportunity, and I'm gonna make the most out of it.
I love that mentality, man. I'm curious, when you're waking up those early mornings, you're training hard, undrafted free agent, making a name for yourself, would you say you're more driven by a crave for success or a fear of failure? Like, which one do you think pushes you more? Like, are you more desperate to succeed, or are you willing to wake up and go through those tough mornings and go through those long, treacherous days of camp and all that because you're scared of failing? And whatever that looks like for you, it doesn't necessarily have to be, making the starting spot on week 1 on Sunday, whatever it is. What do you think drives you more?
I hate that failure. You know what I mean? That fear of failure is something that eats at me on a daily basis because I mean, success can be determined differently. Success for me is, improving each day, not being in that same spot I was yesterday. And failure is like, I didn't improve. I stayed in the same spot. If I'm staying in that same spot, I'm moving backwards, in my opinion. So, I don't like being in the same position as I was the day before. I like to constantly move forward. And that fear of failing is something that just doesn't sit with me well. So that's what drives me.
It don't sit right, man. And I don't think it sits right for anybody. And ultimately, I do think that's what kind of pushes you further rather than succeeding. Like, I've heard so many people win the Super Bowl, and it's just like a sigh of relief, a relief that you made it, right? It's not, obviously, you're celebrating with the team and the fans and all, but it's almost like running away from that failure, and that's what pushes you further and further each day. And part of that, too, is the comfortability of things, right? Like you said, you weren't really able to settle into a system. And now I'm not necessarily sure, like in Minnesota with the practice squad, are you more so going through the motions with the scout team and giving the starting team reps, or are you actually learning that offense as well? Like, how did that look for you?
So for me, I was just giving the starters reps. I had to be the running back of each team that we played each week. So had to be Jahmyr Gibbs, had to be Saquon Barkley, had to be Derrick Henry. But I took it upon myself to learn the offense as well. I wasn't in all of the meetings because I was in scout team meetings sometimes. So, I just took it upon myself to make sure I still knew and treated it as if I was, the starting back, and try to make sure I'm ready for the game.
I love that, and it probably gave you good insight as to what different offenses in the league are kind of looking like, I guess. And obviously, hopping from team to team, you start with Shanahan. Now you're going to Arizona. You play the rest of the year there. Obviously, there next year, and you got a new head coach coming in, Mike LaFleur. I'm not sure if you've had any meetings with him or sat down and gone through the playbook at all, but have you seen any like similarities from coaching trees? Playing throughout teams like Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, a similar coaching tree, and obviously LaFleur also coming from a similar coaching tree under McVay. Are there similarities in these offenses that you can pick up, or is it really just like a completely new language that you're going for with each and every team?
There are some similarities, especially in the run game, and then and that sort. But you know, everybody has their own different language that they speak, but it's all the same text. It's all the same letters and all that kind of stuff. Just different ways of saying it. You know what I mean? So it was kind of difficult coming into different systems and learning, but it was all the same thing. Just had the word association and put the word with the play.
And I kind of assumed that as well. I mean, every team's got their different hot calls and their different audible calls, but at the end of the day, you're running similar systems, right? Like, obviously, play callers will have their different ideas of what's going on, maybe pass first, run first, hopefully in your situation, but I kind of assumed that was the case. Now, before I wrap things up here, I'm curious, did you have a welcome to the NFL moment? Was there a moment where you were just like, man, I'm here? Was that with CMC or was that with someone else? Did you have like an interaction, or Was there a moment that a coach was just on your ass and you're like, shit, I'm here, like this is this is it?
So my first welcome to NFL moment is in the locker room in San Fran, and I'm just sitting there. It's a Saturday, I want to say. It was like it's an off day basically, and I'm just sitting in the locker room, and CMC walks in, and I'm like, "How you doing, man? I'm Corey. Nice to meet you." And he's like, "I know who you are," and I'm like, I'm like, "Hey, man, like." You know me? Like, you sure you know me? He's like, yeah, man, I watched your film. Like, man, you're a good player. Like, basically telling me that I belong here, and that like don't be starstruck because you're looking at me like, man, we're not saying that we're equal, but like we're here together. Like, so I'm gonna push you each day, and you push me each day, basically. And like I've been talking about CMC a lot, but like I can't be more thankful for that man right there. Like. He did a lot for me in my time in San Fran.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing to hear. And, playing football for the majority of your life, grew up, high school, college, now in the pros. It's obviously provided something to you, and something I want to ask all my guests throughout this series. What has football done for you? I've heard people say, like, it saved my life. It's helped me out with my family. It's helped me out with my mentality. It's given me an opportunity to be paid and play the game that I love. What has it done for you? Has it done something special for you in your life, and what does it mean for you?
Yeah, football has done all of that and more. It's opened up countless doors for me, giving me countless friendships, and it's giving me that confidence that I need in life. When I'm learning these different values and these different discipline skills and all that stuff in football, I apply that to life as well. And the way that I handle relationships with people and just making sure that I'm not just giving all my effort on the field and then coming off the field and not doing the same thing. Like I treat my relationships with my family and friends as if it's football. I want to give it my all. I want to be the best at it. So football has just done all of that and more. I can't be more blessed in life. I get to play football for a living. And, as a kid, that's all I wanted to do is play football. And I get to do it as an adult.
No doubt. And that's the key to success, too, right? Like taking those lessons you've learned, the drive, the motivation, the dedication that you learn in the training room, on the field, on Sunday, game day, and applying that to every aspect of your life. Because at the end of the day, like, you're going to wrap up your career at some point. Whether you're an undrafted free agent or the greatest of all time, at some point it's going to come to an end. And then what, right? Like, you need that support. You need that family aspect, the relationship aspect, other ventures in life that you're going to follow, right? So I appreciate that you've delivered that message here today on the show, and I appreciate your time today, Corey. Thanks for joining me.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you. It's been a blessing, man.